For many Aussie vets, today's service has a special significance, with April 30th marking 50 years since the end of the Vietnam War.
We will stand in Vietnam.
And with those words, war was declared.
In the jungles, mountains and river valleys of South Vietnam, the bloody insurrection does not pause.
After World War II, Vietnam was divided into the Communist North and the Democratic South. Fearing communism would spread, the US and its allies launched a full-scale war in 1965 to help the South. Before the war's end in 1975, 60,000 Australians had fought and more than 500 were killed.
There was no such thing as a rosy passage.
John Methven was 23 when he landed in Vietnam to serve in the 7th Battalion.
Our CO once said that it's the only occupation in the world that he knows where a man is expected to lay down his life as part of his duty.
For the past 4 decades, John's been a support network for struggling vets. In 1996, he also began displaying his Vietnam memorabilia.
The mate and myself decided that we'd build a little mobile museum and we'll just take it around parts of Victoria. It was out of my hands from there, it just kept growing.
It's since become the National Vietnam Veterans Museum, a place some call the spiritual home of the Vietnam vet.
We noticed that it started to bring some of the diggers out of the woodwork, blokes that didn't want to talk to anyone. We always try to have at least one vet on duty, and he can pick quite quickly if a vet comes in and starts to, obviously he's struggling, and we can talk to them.
John's work helping vets has seen him even awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia.
We're going home, we're happy!
For many vets, like Tom Good, the challenges of war didn't stop when they returned home.
One incident marred the proceedings.
When we were marching in, we had a minority of people spitting at us and throwing stuff, blood over us, and we were doing all sorts of horrible things. We were treated pretty shabbily for basically doing what your country wanted you to do.
Vietnam quickly became a flashpoint for the anti-war movement, with military conscription mobilising a generation of protesters.
Our country had this problem where they couldn't dissociate the troop from their feelings about the war. So as our diggers came home, they took it out on the diggers.
As public pressure grew stronger, Allied countries began pulling out of the war. Vietnam then unified under communism.
After a couple of hours' frantic work, the monument was toppled amidst great jubilation.
A lot of people had their sons taken away from them, never to come home again, by the drawing of a marble. Those sort of people obviously will never totally forgive.
While we'll never know the exact human toll of the Vietnam War, the estimates are staggering. 3.8 million people, including 2 million civilians, are thought to have died. Tom Good served on the 9th Battalion in 1969 in a team of 30 men. In just 9 months, 3 of those men were killed.
It was pretty hairy sort of stuff. You've got a battalion of 300 people behind you that are relying on whether you are being alert and doing your job. Big responsibility, high anxiety.
Many vets say that when they got home, they were left to fend for themselves.
They'd be told, for goodness sake, don't wear your uniform. Just head off, go home, and just don't tell anyone you're a bloody soldier. Basically, that was it.
If you didn't talk about it and just hung on to it, you'd end up screwed, and some guys did.
When I went to school with, we joined the army the same day. We were trained together. He put a shotgun in his mouth and he pulled the trigger. That was one of the things that got me working in welfare and everything.
We will remember them, lest we forget.
This morning, tens of thousands of people attended dawn services around the country to remember those who served.
How are you, mate?
Service, yeah.
Oh, thank you for saying it. It's the crowd that make it, mate.
For Tom and John, Anzac Day is always bittersweet.
It's an experience that never leaves you, and it's always there, but it's far enough behind, that it's not interfering with your daily lives.
It is a good time to catch up with mates. It's a wonderful time for us, but it's also a time for me to remember a couple of my mates that didn't make it home, a couple of mates that suffered after badly. So I remember all that on Anzac Day. It's important to me.
Gosh, listening to those men speak and seeing in their eyes how close those memories are, and just listening to Tom say then, you know, you don't talk about it, when we know how important it is for people to be able to speak and have community around them after trauma. It just, it doesn't get old seeing those images and just remembering how much they went through.
Well, also I think that's why Anzac Day and days like this are so important, because obviously the veterans community is such a close-knit one. They have an intimate knowledge of what everyone has shared, but it's on days like this that you can remind them that community can be that little bit bigger.
And that we have a better understanding, as they were saying, that we can separate the war from those that were made to go and defend our country.
Yeah.
So, yes, we thank them for their service, absolutely.
Yes, and you're never alone. There was a beautiful package by Matt Bendel as well. And if you find yourself in need of help, crisis support is available 24/7 through Lifeline on 1311 14. And for veterans, help is always available as well through Wounded Heroes on 1300 532 112.